All right. I forgot I hit live over here. So I'm actually already live over here while I'm fixing this darn phone and its camera. All right. Hola, hola, hola. Alrighty, won't be on too long because his session starts soon at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's go ahead and get this all set up over here. Um, okay, so there we go. All set up. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm going to get right into it because I do have a session that starts um, in less than 30 minutes. I was supposed to do this earlier, end up getting calls and stuff like that um, because the poster I just posted and someone else. So it's going to be a busy weekend for me again, but I'm very, very grateful for it. So I'm going to get right into it. So I am Shakia, the professor of HSINK365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. And, gonna move this other way. And also 365 Creative Academy, where we help you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of trainings and programs, such as the one that we are having tonight, on the different ways to create custom apparel. So it did say t-shirt business roadmap, but it's really more so like custom apparel. And we're going to go and take a deep dive into the various ways that you can use to make custom apparel or garments. Like, so basically garment creation. So there's like 12 different ways. And then technically the last way, which is like print on demand, or when we go through it, you'll understand like print on demand versus press on demand. Print on demand, a lot of those companies will use some of these methods just in a larger setup or format. A lot of the print on demand companies end up using DTF. They'll use screen print. Depending on like how your shirts are, they may actually be ordering print, and then as your orders come in, they are just simply pressing them. So this is something that you can do in-house, but if you don't want to do them in-house, you have the print on demand option. But it's great to know all of the different options so that you'll know and you'll be able to ask questions of your print on demand company. Like if you're starting a clothing line, and you're not going to have them like necessarily mass produced from the start. And let's say you're just going to do print on demand. You really want to know the ways that they are creating them and the pros and cons of them as far as longevity and things like that. Okay. So in this particular live, I'm just going to run down those really quick. Like I said, the training is going to go in depth, breaking down the advantages, the disadvantages, the price points of them, whether or not it's worth it to try and do it in-house versus outsourcing them. And that's what we're going to go through in the training. All right. But I'm going to go through them really, really quickly. And if any of these interest you and you want to get more information about them, I will encourage you guys to go to our website and enroll in it's currently called T-shirt Business Roadmap, but I'm going to end up changing it. We have a session today, and there's also another one in March. So if you missed the live session, you can always watch the playback of this one, but you can attend the one that we're having in March as well if you want to be able to ask me like specific questions in the session, okay? Also, pretty much every time when I launch a class, we have a giveaway. And I meant to do it yesterday and I forgot. So we're going to do it today. Because I told you I probably wouldn't be on live. I was like, oh, wait, I didn't do the giveaway. Now, if you're watching over on TikTok, I can't really do it over here. I don't know how I can do it as far as like over here to pick someone. But if you're watching over on StreamYard, all you have to do is put hashtag 365 prints. 365 prints. And that's going to enter you into a drawing for a chance to win a seat to tonight's session. You have to already have an account on our 365 Creative Academy site. So once it picks someone, I'm going to go to the site. I'm going to look for your name and then enroll you. If you're not on there, I'm going to end up moving to the next person because I don't have time to kind of wait and go back. I'm probably going to be on this live right up until it's time for me to hit admit everyone on the Zoom session. All right. So if you put in 365 hashtag 365 prints, you'll be entered in into the drawing for a chance to win a spot to tonight's session. Okay. So you don't get an email. You go to your dashboard on the Academy site and the link is there. So I didn't realize it was still in draft mode. So if you went to the Academy site and went to your dashboard, I took it off of draft mode. I did not realize it was still in there, but now the link is active. So just go to your dashboard and you will see the link to join tonight. Hello, my love. Hello. Welcome over here. Okay. So let's see. Yes, print quantities can get pricey out. To be honest, a lot of people think that that it can be pricey when you're going outside the house, and everyone wants to try and keep things in house. But you'll be surprised that when you choose the right company, you'll actually kind of save on doing an outside company, because it's not just about the cost of the print as well. It's also the time that you spend doing things. One of the things that I kind of wish I knew about the Roland before I got, or at least the one that I have, the entry level, the BN20, is how slow it prints. In all of my research, no one really talked about the speed of the prints. So if you're looking for high production, you're not going to really get that. Like with all of these requests I have for posters and things, on average, my 18 by 24 inch poster takes 33 minutes to print. So that gives you an idea of like how many that I can print, with, if I had to print how many orders I can take if I'm doing a full 8-hour workday. But because it's unidirectional, man. Now I know that's not apparel, but I wish I would have known that about that printer. I probably would have made different decisions had I known that. But sometimes outsourcing can get it done faster, and it actually probably end up being a little bit less expensive as well. All right. So I need to take your class. Well, hey, join us. All righty. I'm already in tonight's class. Well, thank you for signing up. All right. So let's get into it, right? So like I said, there are several ways that you can create custom garments for yours, like for personal, if you want to get into B2B and do things for different businesses or organizations, sports teams. There are so many different, it's like an octopus, right? There's so many tentacles to garment or apparel creation, and so many people that it benefits. It is an industry that's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. You just have to find your place in it. A lot of the big companies, like when they go and they're getting like their shirts embroidered, they don't have like an embroidery shop or embroidery department or garment decoration or aprons, and they don't have that in-house. They are outsourcing that to a company. And if you learn all of these things and build your way up to having equipment that is sufficient for large orders, bulk orders, or mass production, it can be you. Like, you start where you are now, and then you get more education on the more industrial machines, and you can build your business up to where you are a full-on print shop to be able to go after contracts with sports teams and businesses, restaurants, schools, and things of that nature. But it is a growing business. It's not going to say growing. It's an industry that is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. We see it as growing on the smaller level, and it's like some of you guys like to call it the crafting level. It seems like it's new, and like it's always something new and trendy, but a lot of these methods have been around for a really long time, just more on an industrial level. And a lot of the companies now are just making it more accessible to us who are doing things like starting out in your garage or starting out in a small room. They're making machines that have a smaller footprint for you to kind of get your feet wet, and then you'll just grow and grow and grow and build and build and build. All right. So you have HTV. Sublimation, and these are ones that you guys probably pretty much know about most of these, right? So HTV, you have sublimation, you have eco solvent printing, and most times, so there are other printers as well, right? So there's solvent and there's latex and there's eco solvent, but because of like the chemicals and how strong solvent, it can be, like they're more so used for like outdoor signs and banners and posters and things like that. Not so much on the garment creation side. Those are normally like using like eco solvent prints, but even before the eco solvent printers, they were using like the latex and solvent based printers for those. Then you have screen print, which is one of the oldest ways to make custom apparel. So there is water-based inks and plastisol inks when it comes to screen printing, and they just give you a different feel. And then you have screen print transfers, which is from this. It's literally the exact same process as screen printing, but instead of printing it directly on your garment, it is printed onto a transfer sheet. That way you can do what's called press on demand, and you only press them when you need them. And it's a way to kind of help you not waste garments. They're like, let me see, Valentine's Day or like Black History and like MLK parade for games and stuff, people will go and they will just get a bunch of different shirts like made and printed, but they don't sell all of them. And then they're kind of stuck with them, especially if it's something that was for a specific event. Most people really aren't checked. Like, you might find a few people like, okay, hey, do you have any more of these? But a lot of times they get stuck with some of those shirts because they're just pre-printed. But when you do, and you're wasting not only the print, but the shirt. But when you do screen print transfers, you only have to worry about the transfers and not messing up a shirt as well. So if you don't use them, it's nothing to chuck. Some transfers are going to cost you anywhere from 15, like not including setup fees, 15 cents to about $8, depending on how many you order. And those with the $8 are normally like gang sheets, so you can fit more than one thing on there. And then you have DTG. And from DTG, DTF was created. And DTG basically means direct to garment. So there are several printers out there where it's a big print. Instead of putting paper in the printer, you are clamping down your garment, your shirt, your hoodie, your apron, whatever it is. So you're clamping it down and it is literally fed into the printer, and the printer is going to print that ink directly on to the garment. DTF utilizes basically the same type of inks. The difference is what you put on the back, which is the same exact adhesive that they use in screen print transfers. So there is an adhesion powder that's put on the back of screen print transfers and DTF, and then that is cured so it hardens. And once heat hits it, that adhesive basically becomes liquefied to where it can like grab onto the fibers of the garment, and then they're going to stay there. So you have DTF and DTG. Then you also have embroidery, which is stitching. And I love the sound of embroidery machines. I don't want to embroider. It's a bit much for me, but I love the sound and I love to see embroidery machines go. It's just, I know it's kind of weird, but I just love watching them go. So you have embroidery, and a lot of times like companies it has a more of a professional feel to it. So companies will request embroidery for their business shirts for their staff, staff and workers. So after that one, the one that we're going to talk about is kind of like a fun one, right? It is rhinestones, and there's a way to do rhinestones on a beginner level. And then there are machines that will literally create your transfers for you, and it picks up the stones, and you can produce those things a lot faster with the rhinestone machine to just create your transfers. Kind of pricey, but if you do a lot of rhinestones or you want to sell rhinestone transfers, it is great. Or you can always order rhinestone transfers from overseas. Then you also have, which I should have talked about in the beginning, is printable transfers. This is different from eco solvent transfers. This is using transfers for darks or even transfers for lights, things like Jet Pro 3G, StarCraft, You have like pen and gear. There's a lot of different ones out there. Some no-name ones. They'll call them like red line and blue line, and that's all that they're called for these transfers. And these are something that like you can use them truly in-house. Like you can use your regular inkjet printer that has dye ink in it or pigment ink. Technically, you can use sublimation ink with it, but I do find that it bleeds out whenever you use sublimation ink with printable transfers. They are not vinyl, so you don't really have like a good, like, it's hit or miss with carrier sheets with uh, the printable transfers, and they rip really, really easy. It's crazy how delicate they are before they are pressed, because once they're pressed, they can feel like the heaviest thing in the world and the loudest thing in the world. You probably feel like you have a shower cap on because it's just so loud and crunchy. But before it's pressed, it is so delicate and you can rip it so easily. And then there's two different ways, like two different type of transfers. You have the ones for darks, which is opaque, meaning it's a solid white, and you pretty much do a print and cut. Can you just take that and press it? Yes. Not sure if it's common for all cultures, but in mine, in most African American neighborhoods and cultures, they'll use them for like rest in peace shirts, and it's pretty much just a box, and that big old box goes on your shirt, and it can be quite hot under there. And then you have, if you have a cutter, you can contour cut it. Gives you a little bit more breathability with it. But it's a great way to do prototypes if you're doing creating your own product line and you want to kind of just get a feel for sizing and the look of things before you go into like full on production. It's going to be great for things like that. And I still use them when people want inexpensive like birthday shirts or like just event shirts or keepsake shirts. I will use those. I use the ones for darks, whether I'm using white shirts or colored shirts. And then you have the ones that are for whites or lights, and it's more like it is truly a film where it will crack. If you look at, you can't peel it up because it's really, really thin. You just go and print it, and then you, like the same way you do with sub, you would print it in reverse and then press it to your shirt. You're going to have what's called an emulsion film around it. So that's that extra you feel around it. I personally, whenever I have to use those, I still do a print and cut on it because I don't want to have a lot of that emotion around the print. You won't really see it as much, but it's kind of there. And whether it is printing to transfers for lights or darks with the dye-based inks, pigment inks, or using the Sawgrass Chroma Blast, it's actually about this. It really is the same type of technology. All right. And then, of course, the last one, white toner transfers as well is another option to be able to decorate garments. White toner transfers can take a little minute. And you can also use a regular laser printer. The sheets, very expensive. They're quite expensive. But you can use a regular toner printer if you're going to put it on a white garment and you don't, so like you won't have any print of white and you're going to put it like on a white garment, you can actually use a regular toner, a regular laser printer. And it's just a certain process to marry part A and part B, let it cool, put it on your garment, press it, peel it, finish it. And then, of course, print on demand, which I talked about a little bit in the beginning. So that's a lot of ways, right? A lot of ways to get your feet wet in the garment decorating industry. Hold on, let's see. I'm gonna kind of go over a few questions right before. Oh, I got 5. I did great on that. Woohoo! 5 minutes. I'm about to do this giveaway. And then I'm gonna go into class. Pigment ink has a lot of different uses. I use it for stickers, like labels, my chip bags. I use them for invitation. It's just regular ink. The difference between it and dye ink is one, dye ink has a larger color gamut. You're going to get more of those neon and media type colors, whereas pigment ink has a slightly limited color range and color gamut. But pigment ink is great if you need water resistance. So with pigment ink, it will not run. So when I talked about the transfers for darks, if you print it with dye-based inks, when you wash it, you can lose some of the color. With pigment inks, you're not going to have that because it does not run once it gets wet. Yep, Versacam, 30 grand and up. Exactly. I have the Jet Pro, but I haven't used it. I guess that's why I only want to do small businesses. I like to be hands-on. I love doing rhinestones using my hands. Shakia, I'm a crafter. Yes, I know. Yes, I actually am a big fan of Jet Pro. All right, so if you're just joining, I am doing a giveaway. I'm going to put someone's name up here. So this is the hashtag. So hashtag 365 prints, and you have about 40 seconds to type it in. You can only enter once. So if you've already put it in, it doesn't kind of go to where the more you type it, the more entries. The system is only going to count your name once. So you have about now 30 seconds to put in hashtag 365 prints. And I'm going to spin the, draw or spin the wheel on it and pick a winner. You must have an account already on my 365 Creative Academy website. Hello from Illinois. Hey, hey, hey. All right. I don't really feel like there's a best. I've had shirts that used the Stahl's Principle HTV, but I pretty much use Caesar. Had a whole brain freeze. But I pretty much use Caesar. And like I said, there's a very big difference when you're saying, for you to say to me, Principle HTV, I'm assuming that you're talking about actual HTV. Principle transfers to use on your regular inkjet printer, those are transfers. Those are not vinyl in any way, shape, or form. They're actually more of a film. And for me, for those, I've used Avery. I've used Pen and Gear. Don't really care for that one. I personally prefer Jet Pro 3G, but I do hear that StarCraft has a really good principal transfers for darks and lights. But if you're talking actual HTV, Stahl's Cat Cut, I've had shirts with theirs, love the feel, and then Caesars, they have color print, and they also have color print PU. All right. All right, let's go. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Ooh, I have 1 minute. Ooh, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. And boom. And I have to go over here to the Academy site so that I can enroll you or check to see if Danny, well, I know you have an account. You were in my program before. So Danny, you have won a seat too. Teresa, I saw you over here. Don't forget, you won access to all classes. So you have been added to this one and a few of the other ones I have put in, but you will be on all of the classes. So I hope you didn't go in there and pay for it because you have access to every class because you won that. You won that one. All right. So Danny. And wait. Oh, I was like, wait a minute. There's somebody whose name is almost like this. I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be right. Danny has way more classes than that, but I found it. I was like, wait a minute now. Okay, found it. And we're going to enroll you in tonight's session. All right, so it is officially 7:01. So I gotta go. But if you're interested, congratulations to Danny. Sorry for everyone else that was not able to win a seat. However, you can still join us by heading over to our website, shop.hsink365.com. And you're going to see this thumbnail, and that is how you will sign up. It is $33.65. All right, y'all, I got it. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.